Hi everyone, it's Crystal Gels. I'm going to talk to you about my technology lesson plan. We are in the middle of our food unit toward the end of the school year, and so I planned a series of activities for students to engage in using various technology tools to also engage with authentic materials and do some research about culture on their own. So our first activity was for students to engage with a website. It's about scuba outing on a yacht. So I made this document and students answered the questions at the beginning. It was just before they read, using prior knowledge to answer some questions. Then they went to this website where they saw information about the excursion itself, but then also at the bottom there are food choices to make. And so they had to decide what food they would bring and answer some, or order and answer some questions about that. I had the students complete this document using the computer while they were in the computer lab and submit it to me via, or share it with me via Office 365. I made a note to myself. One thing that I didn't like is how I formatted this document. So I will be changing that up to make it a little more user-friendly before I use this activity next time. The next activity that students engaged in was using Edpuzzle to interact with videos. I found some commercials, food-related commercials. One is for Kraft Singles, one is for a product by Quickies. It's a rice in a can. So there's several different things, very Hispanic things. So I had students, I used Edpuzzle. Again, you go to YouTube, or you can go to Edpuzzle itself. I added this. So within YouTube, I can find a video I want. I can click on Edit with Edpuzzle, and it allows me to add questions for students or to have little pop-up messages come in just to give them information. So they can answer the choice, and I can have those submitted to me if I assign it through Edmodo, or they can just do it for practice. So that was the second activity. For the third activity, students were paired based on data from a previous vocabulary assessment to choose a Spanish-speaking country, of whichever country interests them, and to research food, things that they might find on a menu for breakfast, lunch, dinner. They had to name their restaurant, come up with different foods, some authentic dishes. They had to do a little bit of research for that. So there are the directions, they received a rubric, and then I did not make this a requirement, but a lot of my students I have found, want something to plan out their work. So a few of them use this, but not many. They used Canva for this project. Canva has so many templates that are free that students can use, and anyone can use, really. So that was exciting for them. They learned a lot. They showed me a few things that I didn't know how to use on Canva as well. So one of their menus, I had it up. Let me pull it up for you really quick. One of their menus was, they named their restaurant Salsa Picante. One thing that I learned with this, and it was content related, it wasn't computer related, but I learned to talk to them about currency conversions. I thought I had done that earlier in the year in another unit, but I think they just left the prices of the template. So that is something that I need to make sure to go over with them before I use this again. For the third activity, actually I guess the fourth, they had a choice. Again, they worked with the same partner, and they had a choice between making a ThingLink or an Adobe Spark video to elaborate more. What do people usually eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? What time do they eat these meals? And I left it a little open-ended on purpose for them to try to tell me anything interesting they found. So I gave them the rubric, and I just wanted to see what they would come up with and use their creativity. A lot of them really liked that and found some really interesting things, and a lot of them wanted more direction and more detail. So ThingLink, they create an image, and then they tag the images and can put text, they can link to websites, things like that. And then Adobe Spark Video, I enjoyed using that with my students. They kind of went through and showed me some typical things. They did a really good job finding pictures and adding text. So all in all, I was very pleased with how all of that turned out. So that is my tech plan lesson plan. I hope you enjoyed it.